Hey Ease World, I am back with another video. You probably clicked on this video because one, you recently acquired a piece that is pre-loved and or vintage, and you're just looking for methods to spruce up, condition, bring your vintage piece back to life. Or you've had this particular purse in your collection for quite a while, and you just want to do the necessary steps to keep it in your collection for decades to come, because every item in our collection, if you're going to use it, you're going to see wear and tear. And what can we do to prevent that, right? It's the same thing like a car. You got to get an oil change. You got to get your tires rotated, etc. It's the same thing with purses and whatnot. So I've had a lot of experience, a lot of trial and errors. And what I'm going to go over today is all of the products that I have found that worked, and perhaps you can test it out on your purses and see if it will work out for you as well. I'm going to be demonstrating briefly, but I do have a whole entire collection and playlist for you if you want to see more of what I've repaired, conditioned in action. Playlist will be down and below for you. Let's get right into it. It's a quick distraction here. Today, what I'm wearing is going to be the Glossier Lippy, and this is my favorite, literally my favorite lipstick, and it's a very cost-effective one. So I'll make sure to link this down below for you. And if you've seen me in a lot of different videos from before, majority of the time this is what I'm wearing. So I literally have like 8 of these stocked up. Every time they have a sale, I make sure to stock up on this. But look at how pretty that is. And I like how it doesn't like get on your teeth or anything when you're talking. When I say I'm hardcore about this, I am hardcore about this. It's like I'm performing surgery. So this is the first bag. This is the second bag. I just found some random secret pouch that is like a travel bag that I just toss everything in. This is my go-to on the daily basis, regular basis, when I need something. This is my kind of essentials kit, right? When something hardcore happens, this is what I go to. And this, I don't access as often, but yeah, this is how much stuff I have. I'll kind of just go through the products, and I do have something I do want to repair today, and then condition a purse just to keep it going. So let's see what's in my secret pouch, like literally. Get yourself some microfiber cloths. It doesn't have to be anything special. I actually stole these from my boyfriend because he bought a ton of them from Costco. And it comes in like, what? I don't know, like a whole entire pack of them. And he actually used them on cars. He's crazy. He literally thinks that this can only be used once and then you have to throw it away. I was like, you are insane. We are not throwing anything away. So I grab new ones, but sometimes if he decides that he wants to, throw it away, I'm like, absolutely not. I'm going to throw it in the washer and keep using it, because most of the time, he's talking about the fibers and whatnot, but I don't know what he's saying. It just comes in one ear and out the other. So I use this because it doesn't start to shred or shed on your purse. So that is item number 1. And what I usually use this microfiber towel with is the apple leather conditioner. One of my favorites. I've used a couple different out there, but I keep coming back to this one because it is not as oily. A lot of the conditioners out there, I feel like it's oily and it leaves too much residue on the purse itself. So for me, what I use, whoa, what just happened there? What I usually do is just squirt a bunch of them. And this one feels a little bit more water soluble, so to speak. And then I just rub it out onto the cloth like this. Now I have my Floron today just to, again, give it a little bit of spruce up, and I would just wipe this down. And you can see there's a shine to it. So you can see, let me just come closer a little bit. You see how there's a little bit of shine, and then on the back, not as much. That portion of it, I haven't gone over with a conditioner. And sometimes how you know the leather quality is really good is that when you use the apple leather conditioner, you see how there's not much that came off. So you don't have to worry about color transfer if you're wearing something light. So in this case, the Mini Swan from Floron, when I use the apple leather conditioner, it doesn't have any color residue on the towel itself. And that's it. You let it out to dry before you put it back into the closet or wherever you place it at. The second item, my dog chewed the cap off, so now it's broken, so I put a piece of tape over it, but when I need it, I do open it. But this is leather cement. So if you ever need to glue leather together because the handle split apart or whatnot, you can definitely use this. You'll want to just put a thin layer over it, maybe do like 2 layers, and then just squeeze the leather together. If you see any straps or whatever that split open, this is an excellent option for you to just glue leather together because it's designed to do so, right? This is the other kit that I have. If you haven't seen that video, how I took my Dior tote, the straps, the handles were completely shredded. And I was able to file it down and then completely repair it so that the glazing on the handles looked brand new again. It gave it, the bag itself, a complete second life, which is crazy. So go check out that video. But basically, this particular kit came with sandpaper, a file. I bought an extra one of these because the one it came with was terrible. But this is the tool I use to lay the glazing on the handle itself. And then of course it came with a black one and it also came with a brown one. So I know this has sold out multiple times. I'll try to find links for you down below if I can find something similar. A lot of companies make these. You can definitely try them out to see if they're good. I mean, I guess I got lucky because the first one I bought turned out to be amazing. I'll make sure to link everything down below for you. Most of them you can probably find on Amazon. And if you use those links, I do get a little commission. I don't know, like pennies. It does help out the channel and help me spend more money on experimenting on stuff so that you don't have to. The other part of my essentials kit is going to be this polishing cloth. There's a gold one. I think there's also a silver one. I don't know what the difference is. And it has worked, and most of my stuff is gold hardware, so that's why I purchased the gold one. So if you see here, you can see this is my vintage Chanel. This is going to be 24 karat gold hardware. This doesn't really need polishing right now just because it's still pretty shiny. But if you have any hardware that's a little bit dull, and once you use this and polish it, you can see how it turns black and it makes a dramatic change. Now, you don't want to do this too often because I think it does take off a layer of it. But when it gets really bad, definitely give it a polish and you can see how it dramatically changes it. So this is definitely a must-have piece, especially if you have gold hardware purses. One of my favorite pieces. And then just fun fact, if you didn't know, for you to know if Chanel, the piece that you get, has 24 karat gold, you can see the little emblem right there. It does. That's the indication that this is gold hardware, 24 karat gold hardware. This is my favorite suede brush. I have tried so many different suede brushes. A lot of them just didn't work very well. This one in particular worked really well. So you can use this on suede shoes or you can use it on bags. So in this case, I recently got this particular bag, which is like the Roe Margot dupe. I don't need to do this right now, but this is an example of when, if you're feeling like this feels a little bit matted down. I've been using this bag like almost every other day, but if you're feeling that the suede is looking a little bit dull, this is the best one. This one right here on one side is pretty stiff, and then on the other side, it's a little bit softer. But this one literally has been a lifesaver because I have a lot of suede shoes and there's little scuffs that happens, and I literally just run this through a couple times and it just looks brand new again, like the scuff never happened. So yeah, this is a good one to have. And I think all of the stuff I'm talking about is like under $10, maybe $12, $13. So they're not very expensive. For you to invest a couple, $10, $20, even if you buy everything I'm talking about today, $50, let's just say, these are thousands of dollars for you to purchase. And for you to spend $50 on something maintenance-wise to keep the bag in pristine condition for decades to come, 100% worth the investment. So the other item is going to be the Saphir Renovating Cream. I think that's what they're called. But there's a lot of different colors you can get, but basically this is just one tube. I do have a few black bags, and I think it's the easiest to fix. But if you have corner wear, or my mom brought her Versace bag to me, or her other black bags, I can't remember what, and she brought it to me. Oh, there's corner wear. What do I do here? I'm like, let me get out my toolkit and fix it for you. So that's why I have a black one, but there are other colors and you can start mixing and matching and playing chemist if you want. I haven't gone down that route. I don't know if I am that good just yet. But if you have black bags, as many people do out there, totally get this because it's going to help keep the corners looking very fresh. So I will do this in a second here after I've gone over everything to kind of demonstrate, because my YSL envelope bag does have a little bit of wear and tear on the corners. So I will demonstrate what that's going to look like. Oh, the other thing. So I know Carbon Pro is very popular, but personally, I like the Kiwi Protector. So I do have my Dress Up Your Purse Buttercream, I think what it's called. I'm too lazy to go get it, but you guys all know the Dress Up Your Purse pochette that comes in, or just any lighter color purses. I personally like this because with that particular purse, I used Carbon Pro. I still had color transfer. I was able to use the apple leather conditioner to get the color transfer out because it didn't happen for too long. But then I tried Carbon Pro, it didn't work, it still happens. So I switched over to the Kiwi Protector and actually worked. I haven't had color transfer on that piece ever since then. So I would highly recommend this one over Carbon Pro. So before I go over what's in this bag here, do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It does really support my channel and help me grow my channel as I provide hopefully great content for you. Comment down below, tell me what methods you have tried. If you had tried fixing your purses, what methods have worked, what methods did not work for you, and let's just share best practices when it comes to keeping all of the purses that we all love so much and spend a ton of money on, and how to keep them nice. I haven't used this bag in a while, but this was back when I've been buying a lot of Louis Vuitton bags. So this is a little bit more looking at the Vachetta, whatever you want to call it. I did do a couple pieces that I flipped over the years back in the day, where I did sell them to like Rebag or Fashion File. I would get vintage pieces, fix up the Vachetta, clean up the canvas, and then kind of flip them. I stopped doing that, it was too much work. But what I do have are baby wipes. So what you would do with the baby wipes is the Vachetta and just clean it off of the dirt and grime that you would have on there. Then you would move on to, I actually tried this and I don't think it works as well, but saddle soap. Using saddle soap, before I say that, you want to use the apple leather conditioner on the Vachetta first after you've cleaned it off with baby wipes. And you want to use baby wipes because it doesn't have alcohol in there, which will further dry out the leather pieces, right? Just think of your skin. If you use alcohol, it dries out your skin, right? So do that apple conditioner, let it dry, then use saddle soap, which you can use a little brush to brush it off with a little bit of water. It's kind of like what it's meant to use, right? People use saddle soap for their saddles. That's why it's called a saddle soap. So I've used this quite a bit. You can see how much I've gone through, which you can also use on your leather shoes. That's exactly what it's meant for. I would highly recommend that you test this out on maybe your vintage pieces or pieces that you don't like, because there is a learning curve. It took me a little bit to figure out how much saddle soap to use versus not. So definitely experiment on a piece that you might not care as much about. Then you wipe that off, use the baby wipes, use the apple leather conditioner again to restore the moisture in the Vachetta leather. Then, of course, if you want, I know some people like using you can go back to using the Kiwi Protector and make it waterproof so that it's nice and even and it doesn't get rain spots over it. So what are these surgical tools for? Back in the day, again, for Louis Vuitton pieces, I did purchase the vintage pieces, and a lot of the hardware on older Louis Vuitton pieces have all oxidized, right? The brass portion of it have all oxidized. And you'll see the little green pieces or green residue around the brass of the hardware. So I bought these pieces to kind of like pick them out, because if you use Q-tips, for example, which of course I've learned that, if you use Q-tips and you try to pick out the green residue or the oxidation, it kind of smudges everywhere, and then it will ruin your Vachetta if you have any Vachetta or Vachetta right next to it. So you want to be very precise, and you grab this like picks and pick it out instead of using the Q-tip to smudge it around. Yes, it will take it off, but it's going to smudge it around before you can take it off. So definitely that's what these were for. Again, I don't really play around with this anymore, but it's there. I don't plan on getting rid of it. So when finishing up picking out the green residue, I move on to either Brasso or Mother's Millet metal polish. So I actually took this from my boyfriend because he used this for some of his watches and polishing the metal on his bracelet of the watches, right? And I bought Brasso just to test it out. Brasso is they're going to do the same thing. And this one is going to be much more liquid, whereas this one is more of a paste. See, this one is actually more of a paste. The biggest difference I would say between the two of these is that I actually prefer this one over Brasso because there's a little bit more control. It's a paste, right? Whereas this liquid is just gonna kind of spread all over everywhere. There's more control in how you want to polish the tiny little rivets of the Louis Vuitton pieces or just any pieces that has brass and you want to polish it up. Just be careful with this because what it actually does is the paste is being pushed around. It takes away. I think this is how it works. I think my logic is fine, but correct me if I'm wrong. But basically how my boyfriend explained it to me is that there's going to be residue and it picks up all of the impurities of the brass and that's why it makes it shiny again. You want to make sure that doesn't fall on the floor, especially if you have dogs or kids running around the floor. You don't want them to ingest that because that's poisonous, right? So you want to make sure you put a cloth or even one of these older microfibers for a surface for you to work on so that, you know, metal shavings, etc. is not going to fly everywhere. So definitely prefer this one over Brasso just because it has more precision. I also bought this one. I never really tried it. I don't know why. So let's wrap things up and actually demonstrate what I do to my bag to repair it. So there are actually, I forgot to talk about this, but there are two different options here. This one is going to be more precise for you to target like corner wear or pieces that have fallen off on the side. Mostly I use this for corner wear. There is also this particular one, also in black. This one is designed to cover more of a mass area. So if you've got maybe a backside of your purse where it has got some scratches, like nail scratches and whatnot, this one might work a little bit better because it's not as concentrated. So it won't just be quite blotchy or anything. This one will be the better option. So that's the difference between the two. Now, my YSL envelope, it's in really good condition. The only problem is that there is corner wear. There it is. And there's corner wear. You can't really see it. It's probably hard to see it, but I can, when I bring it up to my face, I can totally see the corner wear. So I just want to touch it up a little bit before I take it out. Let me get my surgical gloves on. You can see from the last time I used it. It's hard to see here, but you can see there's a little bit of corner wear and then it's starting to come off a little bit. So what I'm going to do as a demonstration, I know I'm wearing a white shirt today, how dangerous that is, but I'm going to be extra careful. So what you're going to do is just squeeze a little. You don't even need to squeeze out a bunch. Just let it kind of protrude. If Winnie's watching this, I'm trying to use very PG words. So you don't even need to squeeze any of it out. Just let it kind of poke out a little and then just dab your finger. You see how I was able to get some on my fingers? That is all you need for that little bit of corner wear. This tube will last you forever. The cost per wear or the cost per use is incredible. I'm gonna put this back in here because that's all I need for today. And what you're gonna do here is literally just dab. You dab with one finger and then you use the other finger. You can see I already have some stuff here and then just spread it out. You just spread it out on the corners to kind of smooth it out. And if you feel like you need another kind of touch up, you just dab it a little bit again, and then you use your third finger to kind of spread it out because that's how concentrated this formula is. So same thing, I'm just gonna dab it. Next time, I take care of my bags. Next time, if I do get a vintage bag and I see the bigger difference, I'll maybe create a reel so that you guys can see the dramatic difference that this formula can make. So what I'm going to do here is just lay this upside down so that it can dry and not get my couch or my shirt. But I keep reusing this glove because why not? Why do you need a new glove every single time? But you just want to make sure you kind of like keep all of the black in there. I've gotten questions before. If you were to get, of course, taking off the glove, if you were to get it on your skin, does it rub right off? Yes, it does. You can even pick it off if it's dry. So I'm going to be extra careful and not get my white shirt dirty with some black stains. If it gets on your clothes, I think you're screwed. So if it's on your skin, don't worry about it. It'll just come right off if you use a scrubber or just use your fingers to get it off. So in any case, I hope that was helpful. Like I said, everything will be linked down below for you. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments section or feel free to DM me on Instagram, somehow adulting, same name over there. But this is years of experience that I've put together for you. If you want to see a little bit more detail on how I actually repair bags, straps, etc., go check out the playlist I've created for you. It's just really funny because every time I bust out my spread and then I'm starting to repair bags, and then my boyfriend comes up, he's like, this is like a Zen thing for you, isn't it? I was like, yeah, this is kind of therapeutic. So hopefully, again, you enjoyed that. It was a good synopsis for you if you want just a quick crash course on what I use in terms of my repair. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see y'all next time.